student. I work with robotics and embedded systems. Um, and this is Mr.
I am Professor Perrine. I work in the HCI department and I have my own haptics course that I teach.
Yay! First question. Well, when your schooling, was it long ago that you've graduated, by chance? If
No, it wasn't that long ago at all. So I graduated with my bachelor's in 2020 and my master's in 2021. So it's only been like about a year and a half now, almost 2 years from my
nice,
graduate degree, at least.
nice. So now you're freshly out. So okay.
Yes,
So
I am.
when you were a student, the way they taught you in your university, like what are can you see the teaching methods, or what are the teaching methods? Did you get teaching methods from there and bring it to UAT, or like had did you is there a difference, like
There
what have you
definitely
noticed?
there's definitely a big difference from UAT and the other schools. I think a lot of like the way my previous professors have lectured and the way they talk about stuff has definitely transferred, and how like they definitely explain topics and stuff like that. But most of the hands-on work, most of those like projects that we do here at UAT is definitely something unique. Like usually there's a separate like lab section to do those projects in. Back at ASU where I went to. But here at UAT, it's in the classroom. So one transition is, yes, I have a lot of like good lecture experience watching these people. I see how they talk. I see what information and details they share, like those main ideas, the flow of a presentation. But the one thing is trying to combine that with UAT's very hands-on project-based curriculum, and making sure I do a little bit of both, teach them, lecture a little bit, but also give time for those hands-on, really getting the students working, getting them active in their classes.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Did when well you've noticed, like, then there could be challenges, like, from students going from traditional to this brand new type of teaching methods. um what are some ways, like, what are some, like, some challenges you've seen, and if so, like, and if you've seen them, what can your students do about it? Like, what do you think are some good tips that they can take to make that transition, because you kind of went into that transition, from being a student to a professor, like you're still a
Yes.
student yourself, trying to teach that kind of stuff.
Absolutely, you're completely right. It's definitely a transition. And even I, as a student, I graduated with my bachelor's 2020, my master's 2021. So I had to deal with this switch to like the remote environment and dealing with these online classes that we hadn't to before. And at the start, I was like, oh, what? I don't have to get ready. I don't have to go. This is amazing. But I think the one tip and the one thing I see in myself when COVID was happening, and then what I see with our students in these remote classes now, it's just motivation. It's so easy to lose. It's so easy to let slip, but it's so important to set like my advice is like set tasks and hold yourself to those tasks. Be like, I need to get this assignment done and this assignment. You don't need to finish everything in a day. Rome wasn't built in a day, right? Like you just chip away at what you can, but hold yourself to that. If you don't do it that day, you have to throw it on the next day's schedule. So make sure you schedule your time, have a little to-do list. At the end of my lectures, I literally slap on the PowerPoint. I'm like, here's your to-do list for the week. Like, plan it out. Make sure you know what you got to do each day to get your work done for the week. Because I think motivation, especially when you aren't in that rhythm, in that life flow where you're getting up, getting ready, going to class, it's so easy to just be like, I'm going to lay in bed for another hour. Like, I don't have to even get up and do anything. So I think keeping your motivation high and staying determined and persistent is the best advice I can give to get through this online environment.
Okay, okay. So, um do you think, with that said, that UAT's pushing more of like a career-based education, like a hands-on career-based education on their students? And if so, like, how can we send that message to the students to be aware of that? You
Um,
know?
Oh, I totally get what you're
You
saying.
know what
Yeah,
I mean, I'm
yeah,
sorry. That was just that was actually an
yeah,
off-topic question. I was
No, no, I think that that's a really good question. I think UAT does do a really good job promoting this career base. Like even in my classes, I try to get you guys like come up with innovative ideas and I act like you're pitching to an investor, to me. I'm not your professor anymore. I'm your investor. I'm your boss. Like it's a very tech field kind of feel, like we're in a tech company feel. But the other thing is, oh, I was about I'm spacing right now. But
it's okay.
oh, the trimester schedule. That's the other thing I want to talk about. You literally like we encourage students to just punch it out, punch your degree out in 3 years by going to summer school, staying in that 15-week schedule. And I think that's very relatable to work life because you're always going to be working. So it's a great way. Not only is it hands-on project based, but you also get into that flow of, hey, like we got to work and we got to work consistently throughout the year. So.
Okay.
Oh, and the message to get that out. I think that just is just like, up to me and the other professors really creating that environment in our classes to make it feel like it's a tech company. And then to you guys in marketing and admissions to really make that message clear to the people who are interested in UAT. Like, oh, we make it feel like a tech company rather than just a normal university.
It makes me wonder, like, is there a class, another off because we're set in this conversation, but um, is there a class that we could give like fresh students that like it has to be like a mandatory class where they kind of get like like a skill based like perspective idea of like kind of like career confidence or like
Mhm,
career motivational skills or like I know it sounds weird,
mhm,
but
mhm,
like to build that confidence to get that motivation to keep on trying.
mhm, mhm,
I
mhm.
don't, I mean, I don't know.
It's yeah, that
I mean,
it's class specific to that. I can't think of off the top of my head, but I know like our business program with Dr. Mark Smith, Absuri, like they are all amazing and they will definitely make you those business tech professionals, you know? And also I think in some of my classes, not to, brag or toot my own horn, but I feel like HCI 101, we do a great job of I kind of let you guys create your own company per se. Like we literally go through the
oh,
whole
that's
semester. Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, we go through the whole semester. I'm like, this is how you develop a product. Like say you have an idea that you want to build. Like let's go through the steps. And then like, yeah, it's all fake and it's all for, practice, but at least you get a sense of the steps you need to take to be an entrepreneur, to take your idea to market or something like that. And at the end, it's like a Shark Tank like pitch, and I'm like your boss or something like that. So not
Cool.
to not to brag or toot my own horn, but I feel like HCI 101 could be a
Hey,
great class
good
for that.
teaching's good teaching. There's nothing wrong with that. Be good. Like, feel good about it. You know what
Yeah,
I
exactly,
mean? That's
exactly.
good. you know. All right. Well, next questions. oh no. Actually, I want to ask this too because they're just so good. Okay, so with that, like how you with your what was that's the three class students you do like or
uh,
the sorry not the 15 week.
yes, it's a
Okay,
15-week
what do
on-campus
you do
class.
with
Yes.
5 week students? How do you
Uh,
approach those students?
that one's definitely a little more of a challenge. And that one, I make sure to really stay on top of it. I will make sure to read their discussion posts. It is a little bit harder because it's less hands-on, because I can't give you the materials that we have here on campus in the engineering lab. But I still have them go through mainly the design process. So instead of like on campus, they get a little more hands-on. They can actually like prototype something with the 3D printers we have on the second story. But the online, I still take them through the process. I let them know what they have to do, and then they kind of just come up with like a design, kind of like draft where it's like it's all paper based, but it's like, oh, if I were to do this, like these are the components I need. This is how it would be built. This is maybe like some sort of 3D model of it that I could take to the printers if they can make it to campus one day. But obviously, so I adjust the teaching style. I still try to get them the knowledge at least, but the hands-on experience definitely is a
Is
challenge
the
that
challenge?
I'm still trying to figure out myself. And that's just, I try to message them, I try to stay on top of it, and yeah. But yeah, definitely something that me as a professor, I'm still working on. Absolutely.
Nice. So, for your classes, would you how would a student need to approach your class?
Approach my class. I
No,
think
like, well, like if you were a student approaching your class, what would your advice be to them to prepare for you?
to prepare for me. Literally, I feel like I am. There's two things I need from my students. Two things that I ask for, and the first one is just the desire, the hunger, the want to just learn, to just be there and just to take in information. Just I'm not asking for much. Just sit, listen, and try to think about it. Think about the information I'm presenting. See how it
Yeah,
impacts your life. See how you can use it to better yourself. That's my goal in teaching. And then second, I need to see some sort of like effort, right?
yeah,
Like I'm a human, we're all humans. Life happens, life can get hectic, and like, you might miss an assignment here and there. And I'm an understanding man. Like that's okay, but I need you to communicate that with me like ahead of time.
yes,
Like if you have a trip or something, like tell me. I'll be like, hey, that's totally fine. Turn it in on Tuesday instead of Sunday. But if the thing that makes me frustrated as a professor is like, I see something a week late. I don't hear anything from the student. It just doesn't feel like they're putting their best foot forward. They're putting in their full effort. And to me, I feel like then I'm doing them a disservice as a professor. So now I'm like,
yeah,
yeah, like I'm encouraging. If I took that assignment, I'm encouraging that laziness. So I always reach
yeah,
out. I take some points, and I'm like, hey, like I want the desire to learn is number one because that's why we're all here, right? But then I just need to see a little bit of effort. I work with you, you work with me. We can both become better technologists because of it. So those are the two things I say.
I wouldn't doubt that we can also agree that students do need to be more open to, I mean, even if they get some points taken off, uh, you can also change that grade.
Absolutely.
They have the
Absolutely.
opportunity to change that grade. Some of them are just like, no. And
Yes, I'm huge on resubmissions. That's what I always tell my first days of class in all my classes. I'm like, I love to resubmit. Let me grade your stuff. Yeah, you might have a C, but then I'll give you like a list of things to add on to the assignment. Go
Mhm.
back, add those, resubmit 100%. It shows me that you're willing to take that extra step. It shows me that you've learned and integrated the information and you get a good grade. It's a win-win,
Yes,
you know? So I'm
yes,
thank you for mentioning that because I'm huge on resubmissions. I think that's the
awesome.
best way to learn.
You're welcome. Well, um, I think this is a good time to cut off. We got some
Perfect, perfect.
good information. I loved talking to you. You got some great stuff to give to them. So, I did,
Awesome,
I
awesome. Yes, hopefully I see my face on there. No pressure
so
either way. It's been a blast. I've enjoyed talking as well. So
of course.
yes.
I hope I get to speak to you again some other time. Maybe more about bioengineering and
Yeah.
stuff,
Are
or
you on
you know,
campus, online? Are you online somewhere?
online. I'm
Online.
an
Okay, okay,
online.
okay.
I'm
So,
Utah, so
oh, Utah. There you
yeah.
go. You'll be with
Night.
Dr. Jill, Dr. Coddington over there.
Oh,
Or
she's
no,
over here.
she's in Colorado. Nope, nope, wrong,
Ah,
wrong.
okay.
Got it mixed
She's
up.
over she's over somewhere over there.
Yes, yes. So,
All right.
but yes, thank you so much. I
All right.
appreciate you
Thank you.
reaching out.
Bye. You have a good day. Bye.
Bye.